Hello everybody, my name is Zelinator and welcome back to Ultimate Minecraft Polyworld episode 454. And I don't know what's gonna happen. My very small scale controlled experiment, everything seemed to work fine. They changed the textures for the signs. Man, I'm gonna need to work on the resource pack, but that's okay. That was a buzz. Oopsies, what did I get rid of? So, we're gonna see whatever happens because I don't know. I've got some stuff to put away as I try to find whatever I accidentally got rid of to the notification history. Not important. Alright, so that's not the netherrack chest. That's a lot of netherrack. But yeah, I'll need to dump those. So yeah, we're gonna get rid of all these first. We're gonna toss all the items. Oh, does this mean... I don't know. I can't check bombs just yet. Do. Let me try to find the mushrooms. There they go. We also, unfortunately, are dealing once again with the no sound dealio. That's quite unfortunate. Oh well. So yeah, let me put all this stuff away before we go do stuff. Go do other stuff, I should say. What exactly are we up to? We're gonna find out when we get there. I should write in a book. Like, I'm gonna make a note. Write in book, because I haven't written in a book for a while. Let me also toss this outside. I should say it would probably be wise to have a milk bucket. Yeah, we're gonna try to do some adventuring because I don't know what's gonna happen. That's okay, that's okay. This world is part of it is I know what I'm doing, I've done this before, and part of it is we're gonna figure this out as we go along. This is a live experiment. And unfortunately, unlike Minecraft Legacy, I don't get to try again. So let me first put away all... We have a massive amount of spruce wood. Good job, me of yesterday. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of spruce wood. I didn't think I would be chopping down so many. How about we move these down real fast? Surely I can't have that many spruce logs, right? That was dark oak. That's also dark oak. Howdy, Ian. Welcome back. No, I did in fact grab a massive amount of spruce. That's a lot of spruce wood. I'll take it though, because I need it. The world has indeed been expanded. I just need to make sure that I keep that up tomorrow, because 1.17 did not have that by default. I think I know what I'm doing, as long as my experiment works. I should say the experiment I attempted worked, so hopefully it gets applied here. Do I really have more spruce? Man, this entire chest just became spruce just about. Okay, so yeah, all that's dark oak. We'll leave that down here. When you say conversion, there was a short period after the snapshot started, 21W06A. That was the fourth snapshot for 1.17. That one had the expanded world size. And so it maintained that way for several more snapshots. And then they decided to split the update, and so the world, all the world settings went back to normal before 1.17 was released. And then they brought back those world settings later for a data pack. The data pack that was created later in or I should say later in 1.17's development. And then when the 1.18 snapshot started, right after 1.17 was released, they brought back those world settings. There's indeed Grimstone, I think. I think there was. I don't remember all the changes. I don't remember how many blocks were added by this point in the development history. The underside of the bowl is still as empty as it's always going to be. Because this is the route I've chosen. Clean chest is a happy chest. That's why we're going to organize all this real fast. The bedrock isn't going to convert. They didn't add the world conversion until later. I have some bedrock from Indev. The classic worlds are at Y1. The Indev worlds are at Y0, other than the Sky Islands. Those don't have anything. But they didn't add the chunk conversion until later, so only new chunks are going to have the deeper caves. Milk bucket, that's what I was looking for. I've been going through these often. Howdy to you as well, welcome back. I also need food. And nighttime is here. The entire world is gonna be empty space if I never load the chunks. I'm not gonna optimize the world until 1.17.1, so we'll see what happens there. Because I want to get the world optimized before 1.18, since I don't know what sort of weird chunk data stuff is gonna happen if I don't do it. So, we're gonna optimize the world in 1.17.1, right before the end of the series, or right before the end of this part. Alright, let's go over to the sleeping bag, catch some Z's, reset the what's it timer. I forgot that was 1.18, not 17. And we have some adventuring to do. And zoink. Set my preview back to live. Alright. Away we go. As I hope nothing goes wrong. There's always the possibility of stuff going wrong. But we're gonna hope nothing goes wrong anyway. Let me make sure everything is all ready. All nice and prepared. I should be set. And just like that, I've gotten hungry again. I say as I hiccup. Oh, you know what? Hold on, I forgot half the ingredients for this. I think I keep them next door. Only the end is affected by the generation bug, but I still have to deal with the fact that now the overworld has an expanded size. It went up and down. But here's the thing, if I were to work on my own magic, there's always the possibility, if I had chosen, because we're not done yet. I should say we're not in 1.18 yet. I still have the opportunity, if I were to pursue it, to create the world to be even taller. The terrain itself, I don't think would be. Would Nerve have a basement? Yes, I think, because it's not bedrock underneath. Probably. Or anything else I needed? Add food? I don't know what I expect to find. We might find an end city or two. I'll grab the shulker boxes anyway. We're gonna visit the end farm because I'd like to get my stuff repaired. That should be fast. You can go essentially plus and minus 2062, I think. Or 2032, sorry. The whole world is 4064 maximum blocks. Oh, I didn't get any speed from that. Did they do something with beacons? Where's my speed at? Where is the beacon? Did they do something with beacons? I don't know where the beacon went. Hold on. I think the terrain would be variable. I'm gonna have to repower this, probably. I'll deal with the beacon later. I wonder if they did something. Well, if I see the beacon beam over there, that's not the beacon beam. Never mind, maybe they did. Oh, okay, well, either way, still a snapshot, so maybe they did something. This gets fixed later. There's a way to make the terrain generate the entire world size. I haven't fully figured that out yet. I just know the block limits, primarily. I'll fix the beacon when we're in 1.17. That way I know I don't have to deal with any snapshot tomfoolery. Because for all I know, it's gonna start working again, and so I don't have to do anything for it. Hold on, we're gonna have to wait around a little bit because I haven't been in this area before, so now it has to convert all these chunks, which is gonna be a very slow process, since it has to add an entire 128 blocks to this area. Do 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 do. Been patiently waiting the entire part. Spoken like a true addict. Why so obsessed with amplified end? We good? All chunks converted? Probably. Until I move over and it has to load more chunks. Alright, good enough. Thankfully, I'm pretty sure we only have to deal with this in the overworld. Because in the end, I don't have that problem. Or the end and the nether, since those have not been touched. I think there might be a way using data backs to adjust the nether and end sizes like the overworld. You'd have to go looking and see if other people have done that already. Alright, let me grab the boat. How did I end up with an egg? When did I pick this up? I keep picking up eggs. Halfway there, said Bon Jovi. And we made it. Doink. Alright, let's get the goods. So I need a sword. Thankfully, I don't have to turn the audio down. The reason is, unfortunately, I'm having the muted sounds problem again. I don't know what's up. I'm pretty sure it's I almost said MC edit. It's a multi-MC issue. I don't know how to fix it. Am I expecting there to be green beans here? Because I'm not sure where there would be. I'll repair the other pickaxe. In the overworld. Why do I need to watch out for them in the overworld? Compared to the usual. Alright, that one's done. I don't often hear them until they explode anyway, because of how quiet I usually keep my game sounds. It'd be nice, though, if this issue gets fixed soon. Because it started back in, I think, 1.11. I don't know what the dealio is. What are we at? 1735. 1775, 250 years ago. I've thought about reporting it. I still haven't taken the time to do so yet. Because 1.11 had the issue. 1.12 may or may not have. The first 1.13, the sound was back, for sure. And then 1.13.1, the sound was gone again. I don't know what they did. I think 1.14 didn't have sound. It might have been 1.15 where the sound came back. I don't remember. This has already been weeks ago. Alright, well that's taken care of. Away we go. Alright, I think now I'll be all nice and prepared. We're gonna go... Yeah, we're gonna go this way. Excuse me, buddy. And now we do our stuff. We've got some traveling to do. I'll speed things up once we make it to the proper end islands, as opposed to all the void that was generated out here. This might take a while, though. That's okay. I think it was only a few hundred blocks. In fact, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go boop. At this point now, we should be able to see everything in the distance. We're going to find out whether or not chunk generation is better or worse compared to before. I did indeed see your comment, Paul. Don't remember all it said entirely. No bedrock generates In the overworld or in the overworld on the nether? I'll deal with the performance issues because I want the visibility. Although maybe not 32, maybe something more 25. I remember last time I was loading up much of the end, and chunk generation was so slow. And my snapshot tests on here, it seemed better. It very well could have only been an overworld issue then. Would have been interesting seeing the nether without any bedrock though. That would be totally useful. Alright, this way we go. North, I believe. This is indeed north. I wonder how far I'll need to travel. I guess it's going to be very blatantly obvious once we get to where we need to be. I don't know how long I'll be sticking around. Enough to load up a good amount of the terrain. Because I'm only going to get to see it once. It's like the Sky Islands. I only got to load Sky Islands terrain for a short while. It is an Elytra moment because I'm not going to bridge between all these. It's not worth it. Once we pass Z0, we're going to be close. One more. And then now we gently glide. We're in no rush, so we're going to take this as slow as we can. Yeah, I don't remember. I intentionally left. There it is. I intentionally left the top left corner up here open in case I ever wanted to do something in particular. And now we have that something in particular. As we go up and up. I don't see the beauty here. I just see a whole bunch of endstone. It's kind of like a bunch of discs stacked on top of each other. Because it feels like the whole layer aspect of the end is amplified, but oops. Speaking of end cities, let's go investigate. I see the ship. Thankfully, the elytra within the ship survived. Oh, hold on. Here, let's try to gain speed and go up. Touchdown. Alright, cool. Let's get the goods. There's no shulker in here. I thought there's supposed to be a shulker guarding the elytra. Not good stuff, but I'll take the chests, as I need the chests. Alright, let me start getting the shulker box prepared. Doo-doo-doo-doo. I think that's the start of the items that won't stack. Alright. It's not elytra number 2, this is elytra, I think like 5 maybe. Oh wait, these don't stack either. I don't remember how many elytras I had in the chest at home. Alright, let's take a look-see. There's another one. I guess we'll go explore in there next. Do I want to properly raid these? Not particularly feeling it. I can always come back and get the stuff later. Not seeing an end ship on this one, although there very well could have been one if it was lower. Anything else around here? Oh, there's another one. Alright, let me touch down. We're gonna wait around a little bit, let all the terrain load. As we see all the extensive pillars in the distance. I wonder what the sort of terrain would look like with far lands. How to find two end cities in a row? Sometimes they spawn in clusters. Alright, where exactly am I? I think I need to start going back east because I want to make sure I load up the corner properly. The coordinates are in the top left. Hopefully those are readable. YouTube does not compress text very well. There's a Farlands mod for 21W14A. It was first started in 21W06A, I think. So the version that was updated for, or the version updated before 21W14A might work on 13A. Oh, did I make it back to the corner? This is what I was looking for, because instead of just being on the east side, I wanted to be on the north side to make sure I load up everything correctly. I also saw that the gateway there activate. We're loading up new chunks. Wonder what gave that away. I see the terrain getting cut off here, which means we're close to where I wanted to be, here on the north side. Because I basically wanted to load up the whole corner up here, although I had to make guesstimations as to where everything was. And I don't know how far... So we passed 0 on the x-axis. Maybe head back this way a little bit as I try to figure out where exactly I am. Oh, that city is in a very peculiar location. How about we go investigate real fast? And look, there's another city up there. Gonna go down, gain some speed. Oh, this one has a ship. Can I touch down? Whoop. Hey, I made it. I made it through the window. I didn't mean to do that, but that was perfect landing. Ow. Hello. You've made a mistake. This one seems to be better. We got a helmet with mending on it, even though mending's not going to be useful to us anymore. Alright, these don't stack. I'll pick up the potions before I pick that up. Hello. Who's in here? I did not forget the box. I wanted to pick up the potions. I didn't feel like placing down the shulker box immediately after picking up the potions again. Alright, so this is a very well-placed city. I wonder... That's kind of funny. You could see on the right the city generated going up, but then the bridge that connects to it is off to the side. And I'm getting I'm getting strongly attacked here. Yeah, the other city we were looking for, I says we keep going up and up and up. Pretty sure it was this way. Oh yeah, there it is. And away we go. I don't think there's a ship on this one. We're close to where we want to be. I want to see the edge of the old chunks in front of me. Off in to the east. I just don't know if I've gone too far to the north. Oh, there's another one. I don't know if cities spawn more frequently or if this is just how it is. Oh, you know what? I've been totally forgetting to grab the dragon heads. Oops. I'll probably just leave them. I don't like breaking the chests before the loot generated. I don't know if there's any sort of problem with that or not, but I'd rather just make sure I generate the items in the chest first. Oh, well, this box is starting to get full. In fact, this box is completely full. It's full of items that don't stack anymore. I haven't even done city exploration. I've just been going for the ships. Alright. So we are... Because I forgot which direction we came from. I think that's the city we were just at. But we need to go this way. I'm seeing the big old chunk border right here, which means we might have already entered the far north side of wherever I need to be. Once the large terrain starts curving to the right, that's when I know I've hit the corner. Which it looks like it's right over here. Yeah, these cities are all over the place. I remember having so much difficulty trying to find the end cities before. So I don't know if it's a product of the terrain or if they intentionally have increased the spawning chances since I was last exploring around here. You know what? I have a new plan. We're going to pass by the ship, though. I might have enough elytra durability for what I want. These are going to the warehouses. I don't plan on using Zelenite Co for any storage. But I have a plan. I have an exploration plan, I should say. Where did that one come from? Wonder if that went through the window. I think I'm probably just gonna start tossing everything. If that first shulker box is full, then I'll just throw everything I pick up into here. I'm probably also gonna nom heal up real fast. Alright, so where's the ship I was looking at? I think it was that one. We gotta go though. Oop. Under normal circumstances, this would be rather dangerous. But these are not normal circumstances. Does anyone know if the shulker spitballs have any sort of particular protection that works against them, or is it just general protection? I don't know if they count as explosion damage. Well, I'm not going to be able to explore them anymore after this. I'll have to leave all the ships behind for future use. Alright, so the way I was going, pretty sure that was the ship I was just at. Which means we want to go this way. We're going to try to find the chunk border again. I think it's in front of me. These cities are all over the place. Next time I feel like it, I'll need to whip out MCA selector and to see just how many cities have been loaded up. Because I'm sure there are cities that generate that I don't see. Howdy howdy. Things are going alright over here. We're doing some end exploration. Okay, let me gain speed, and then up. And soft landing. I'm gonna have so many of these insta health potions. One day I'll do something with them later. Maybe other people will make use of them. Alright, let me pull out everything that, or I should say everything that will stack. Coffee type end? Why do you call it coffee type? How are we doing? 317. Alright, so yeah, northwest is indeed. This is where I'm trying to go. And I think I already see another city over there. Peekaboo, I see you. I feel like, though, I might have some difficulty with the plan I have, as I realized the world is not very even. All the chunks I loaded beforehand. But that's okay. Nope, I see you. Think we can zoom in for a nice soft landing. Boop. If only physics worked like that in the real world. Alas, we don't get that luxury. Come on. There we go. This might be one of the last, or Yeah, this might be one of the last chests we can explore. In fact, I think might have just filled up entirely. How much of this stacks? If I could place in here everything that doesn't stack. Alright, there we go. No more cities to explore. Since the next chest would absolutely fill us up entirely. Alright, well, all done. Away we go. 14 chests from that. 7. We've raided 7 ships and it's only been 40 minutes into today. I see, those are good numbers. Alright, where were we going? I think it was this way. We're still trying to go south. Except I want to say a lot of south has already been here. You ready for the road trip? When was the last time you did a road trip of this length before? It won't take 2 days. So how long will it take? It's gonna zoop right on over. 5 hours. That's reasonable. It's only half a day's worth. Half a day's worth of traveling, I should say. Oh, we're gonna keep zooming on right here. How are we doing on durability? Yeah, if I'm not going to raid any more of the end ships, then I should have plenty of durability for what I hope to do. I wonder what the world size is going to be after this, because it now occurred to me, there's a lot of large-scale terrain we're loading up here. Oops. At least the chunk generation is much, much faster than what it was before. Because the last time I was here loading up all this, it was really, really slow. Oh my gosh, look at that one part of the tower down below. That's rather comedic, I say. How far are we? We're nearly 5,000 on the x-axis. Oop. I was right, I did load up a lot of terrain before. I didn't really have any plans for today, but it occurred to me that I should probably have as much of this as I can. This makes end terrain generator number 3. Because you got the original void, then you got the regular outer island generation. And now you've got this. Part of me kind of wishes I loaded up more Sky Islands back in beta 1.9, but it's a little late for that now. Oh well. I think I might have gone a little too far. Come on, train, where are you? Howdy. Welcome back to the stream. We're visiting the snapshot for what you can see directly in front of you. For one version only, special. End generation like you've never seen before. That ship got cut in half. That's rather unfortunate. At least the Elytra's still down there. This happened because it's one of good old-fashioned someone at Mojang done goofed. I don't know. I don't know the technical reason. Okay, what are we looking at? 225. Should be fine. I will say though, it's nice having these end cities all over the place. I don't know if I'll ever use them, but at least now they are here. I don't even think they applied the overworld amplified modifier unless you're absolutely 100%. No, that's the technical reason. I'm pretty sure it was just the vertical scale was changed. I don't remember what the heights of regular outer end islands generate at. This was just increased all the way up to 200 something. You haven't seen the XP thing before? I think they introduced it last week. I don't know what the point of it is, since it doesn't seem to be working very good. I don't know how XP is gained other than watch time. Seems likely, since it's unrelated to comments. It's also increments in 25, multiples of 25. Alright, we're gonna stop here real fast, let all the terrain down there load. See if there's also anything else in front of me that needs to generate. How are we doing on memory? Only about 6 gigabytes active use, and an allocated 12. Alright, let's see. So if we're way over here on the south side, it's at 180. I think if this hits 100, I'm gonna start preparing to head back wherever I am. Yeah, if we're still going west, that means we haven't hit the far west side yet. I'm keeping an eye out. If I really wanted to, though, I could start using the other elytra pieces. But since I don't have a way to repair those, other than combining with other elytras, I'll probably just stick to the one good piece I have. Hopefully someone does something with all this terrain, because right now I don't have any plans. Once we prepare to leave the end, I'll need to make sure that I get the elytra repaired. And apparently we still have more south to go. What is with this, how did I load up this terrain before? I haven't looked at the end chunks in a while, so I don't know what sort of shape I created. This feels very odd. Oh well. And now we're already past 4,600 on this one axis. Don't you have to turn the leaderboard on to begin with? You got high and got first place because you're the first person to start collecting XP. Not everyone who comments on here collects XP, and I haven't figured out why that is. Because I don't know how the system works. It very well could be Google account versus YouTube channel, and only YouTube channels. It's on by default. Oh. Here on YouTube Studio, I always have to hit the button. I always have to hit the top fans button to see who has it. I haven't watched a stream since this has been included. $5,500. That's not what I wanted. I didn't think I'd end up so far away. It feels like there's this giant corner piece, kind of like a Q, except if you mirrored it left and right. Turn it off in channel settings. Oh. I'll leave it on for now and see if they do anything for it. There's an old city. I probably didn't visit it, though, because if it's this close to new terrain, I would have just loaded the chunks. Pretty soon here, we should start seeing the terrain go to the right, but if we don't start seeing the terrain go to the right, then oops. Of course, it still goes left. Has there really been at least 45 minutes of me just flying around? Alright, well, we're also coming upon the end of the journey here. Well, that was fun while it lasted. Time to start heading back. I feel like acquiring this sort of terrain in a mod would be rather easy. If it was a simple mistake to get it like this to begin with, it should be very easy to implement. You might even be able to get a data pack that has these sort of values here. I'm just not very familiar with the data pack format. What? 432. I wonder how they decided 432 durability for this. That doesn't seem like a special number. Unless it's based on time, like how fast the durability goes down. And so to get a desired total time length of usage, that's how they ended up with 432. Or it's just an arbitrary number that felt correct when they were doing the testing. Pretty soon here, I'm hoping we're gonna see the pathway to start leaving. Well, I see a bridge, but that's not the bridge I'm looking for. In fact, if I'm right around 1500, I think we go mostly this way. Because this should be around where I have the Enderman farm on the Z-axis. Alright, let's see. Where's the bridge? There's a bridge. Oh, yeah, I see it now. This way we go. We're gonna pick up speed and then a zoop. We're gonna try to go for a nice soft landing. Touchdown. Alright, cool. Alright, let's get this repaired. Oh, I guess I can leave it on. Alright, that was fun while it lasted, I'd say. And now I'm trying to find the sword I use. Howdy, welcome to the stream. Alright, give me the goods. Wait, hold up, let me get there real fast. I guess a positive to the elytra having low durability means it's going to get repaired quickly. How about though we keep it here so that way I can see how long until it gets full. And almost. Got one Enderman cluster together. The whole point of having the Enderman Master here is to keep them all in one place. This particular block. Except they don't always seem too interested. There we go. Alright, cool. So we're going to put that away and not use it anymore. You know, if I really wanted, I could stuff everything into the ender chest and call it a day. Just go back and explore some more. We've been at this for nearly an hour, though. So I think I'll just live with what I've got. Because we still have other terrain to explore. Other terrain that will be exclusive to this version. Although I don't think I'm going to know when I get there. I might need to whip out MCA Selector. Because I don't have a way to know when we hit new chunks in the overworld. Oops. Okay, well, either way, the first thing we've got to do is go home and sort all our stuff. Because we picked up quite a lot of items that I don't particularly care for. And whoop. I guess this gives me more tools and armor Oh, hold on, just kidding, we gotta go back. This gives me more tools and armor I can disenchant if I wanted. Howdy Koski, welcome back. Your legs are gonna be sore for a couple more days. You gonna do some more exercising before then? Before they feel better? Wait for them to stop being sore? Depending on how extreme it was, that could be a while. Alright, boop. Alright, let me put the sword back since I don't need that on me. Alright, away we go. Now we're all set, we can head back. For real this time. Maybe I get sore easily then, as if I'm doing intense work, such as physical labor. 3 days is often not enough. It's usually 5 or more. Could be a sign of me not doing much physical labor to begin with. Alright, and ta-dunk. I have plenty of recovery time, unless it's multiple days in a row of doing work. We've been needing to do a lot of yard work over here, particularly the backyard. We're trying to clean it up with a lot of the leaves and dead bushes and other stuff we have to remove from the area. And now we sit and we wait because we have to wait for all the terrain to convert or something. It's also nighttime, so we're gonna catch some Z's, reset the weather timer. Alright, so what are we currently looking at? Day 6,480. Alright, so what we're looking at is the chests for all these items I don't need. Alright, this is gonna take a few minutes. It'd be nice if they brought this back as some sort of end mountains, if we do get a proper end update. I feel like it's not an if, it's a when. If they want Minecraft to stick around at least 50 total years, and we're only 16 years into it, I can guarantee that over the next 34 years, there will be an end update. Ah, so many potions. So many saddles. Is there anything else to put here? I guess I'll pull out the tools and armor. I don't have an opinion on the copper update because I haven't seen anything of it. That's not to say it doesn't exist. I know it exists. I just haven't looked into it at all because I don't keep up with new Minecraft these days. I'll probably look more into it after UMP goes on break again. How many of these items has Create already implemented? Because I feel like there's gonna be concepts where people are gonna say, hey, I've seen this before. Looking at you, Auto Crafter. My gosh, so many boots. I need to do something with those, but they're all diamond. I can't deconstruct diamond boots. If they were iron or gold, I could at least smelt them down into nuggets. Does horse armor have a dedicated chest? I don't remember. I'll go for the stuff that I know has dedicated chests. The potions are going to be the next warehouse, so we're going to leave those here for now. Any particular reason you're looking for this queen? Trying to start another colony. Oh, that's a good pickaxe. Efficiency 4 and breaking 3, silk touch, and mending, all on one naturally found pickaxe. If that was diamond, that would be an amazing pickaxe to find. The only thing it's missing is efficiency 5. Nom 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 nom. You say that'd be incredible early game. The only problem is to get to the end, you have to do a lot of steps to get to the end to begin with. Oops, that's not the shovel chest. I'm gonna move these down since those were what I had before. Pretty soon I should get a shulker box for all these saddles. I don't know how many more I'm gonna be finding. You think they look cool, I guess that's good enough reason. If you just have them as display, just to keep around for looks, it would make sense that you would want to like the look of them. Hope I said that right. I think I could probably fit everything else into one shulker box. So let me grab the elytras now. In fact, hold on, I have an idea. All the elytras and all the potions, that's what I'll put in that shulker box. And then for this one, I could put the box away since now it's empty. I feel like I saw something on Twitter about Gumball getting another season. Just be told, I never watched it much back in the day. I've seen a little bit. I have also been seeing that King of the Hill is getting a reboot. I don't remember if it started yet, but I think I saw the new opening. I never watched King of the Hill back then, but I feel like it'd be a show I would enjoy now as I'm older. Alright, what else? The beetroot seeds. Those go over here. Oh yeah, I can also turn this back down. That's better. If people would like to fund me better hardware, I would totally appreciate that. Oh no, hold on. Hold on, are you telling me it's still here? I still have to deal with that chunk border issue. I walk across the chunk border and deal with the lag spike. Sad times. Alright, so that's the elytra and potions. Maybe I'll go to warehouse 3 before warehouse 2. I'm also down to only 27 rockets. I'll probably make more later. I don't know when I'm going to be flying around again. Maybe 1.18, but that's a ways off. I say as I prepare for 1.17. Well, it's true. Okay, how many of these do I have now? 12. I have 12 of them. Oh, wait, hold on, I forgot the fireworks. Firework rocket? If it's not a firework rocket, what other type of firework would it be? Do sparklers count as fireworks? Probably not, but people often use them alongside fireworks. Oh wait, I have a horse armor chest. For some reason, I thought I had more than this. Maybe not. Maybe this is only what I have here at the warehouse. Oh wait, hold on, shulker shells. This is the third time I've climbed this ladder in the past 5 minutes. Oops. Alright, so now what we are looking for... Shulker shells go with the shulker boxes, which I think are farther this way. I don't have any shulker boxes, but I do have plenty of shells now. Alright, these are all my potions. I think everything else other than the egg is going to go into warehouse 2. We'll pass by there first. And then we'll have some exploring to do. Although I don't know how well it will be to explore. If I'm supposed to prepare for 1.17, maybe I'll just find wherever I want to be now. Because I plan on setting up a 1.17 outpost. Experience the new terrain and all that. Alright, so potions should be here. You could see just how many end cities I've raided. How many of the end ships from all these potions I have. I'm pretty sure I drank one of them, which is why I think there was a glass bottle somewhere in here. Maybe not. Alright, so that box is empty. You can go here. Brewing stands go over here. Look at all those brewing stands. I don't know what I'll do with them, but we're going to keep holding on to them. In fact, how about I just keep this egg on me? We have some exploring to do. I haven't been off in this direction, which means we're probably going to experience lag spikes as I load up terrain. I should say, as I convert terrain over to the new world format. That time's also approaching, so we'll get the bed ready. I'm probably gonna have to deal with converting the world over to 1.17 as well. However, we get there when we get there. Thankfully, I don't need to deal with that at this moment. We still have lighting bugs. Oi. We'll see if that gets fixed by the 4 release of 1.17. Alright, eyes turn red, you can go to bed. Doink. I'm really hoping that when I optimize the world, the lighting bugs will go away. The only downside is I optimized the world in 1.16, I think. The lighting bugs do not go away. So we're just gonna hope that they go away for sure this time. I don't know how many days remain, but there's about 4 weeks, I think. So from today, 4 weeks and 2 days. Although I think one of those weeks I won't be streaming. What do you mean, why so many days? That's not a lot. That's only a month. That's 4 weeks, 5 streams a week, 20 streams. There can't be that many pre-releases. Oh, but there are. 8 pre-releases, 3 release candidates. 1.17.1 has at least 1 release candidate. It might have 2 or 3. I don't remember. But on top of that, I do have a few extra 1.17.1 days. I think we're going to be in it 3 times or 4. So that just adds on to it. So we're going to hit 1.17 before the series is over. Or the series goes on break, I should say. Is there anything else I need to do? Well, you know what, while we're in the area, I should check on the bee farm. And then we're going to have some adventuring to do. I feel all the lag spikes because I know it's converting a lot of the terrain, of which I'm partially tempted to convert it now in its entirety. Let me also grab some of these real fast. Hello, bees. Alright, let's see. Can I do... There's +1, +2. I'll grab that and grab that. Alright, so +2 bees. Let me see, what does that put us at? That puts us at 17. I don't know how many I can hold. I probably should have done the math. Bee count, 17. Alright, so there can be 3 bees in 8 of these. So that supports 24. I can have 24 bees. Alright, cool. Alright, well, while we're over here, let me just head off to the edge of this real fast, and then I'm going to press a button before we prepare to go into another direction. So what I'm going to do is, boop. And now we're just going to sit around and wait a little bit because I want the terrain to convert over real fast. We just have to stick around a wee bit. Unfortunately, we're going to have to deal with this again when we leave the area over in wherever we get out of the end, or get out of the nether portal. Then we do a nice good stretch. Oh, it's all done. That wasn't so bad. The more terrain I convert now, I hope that means less terrain I have to convert later. That's kind of the goal. Alright, set that back to 20. Or 16, that's what I play at on here. We'll compare the performance once we get to brand new terrain, as opposed to all the stuff I've done over here. Alright, we are all set. Placed down the chests. Checked on the bee farm. I think now we're set. Away we go. I didn't have the time, and I intentionally chose not to optimize the world now, because I know I would just have to optimize it again very shortly. Because I need to make sure, I need to guarantee I don't lose anything going to 1.18. Once I get to 1.18, I won't have to deal with world issues anymore. Of course, it's all self-imposed, because if I just went from 1.16 to 1.17, there wouldn't be any problems. I chose the difficult route by playing this snapshot. All for what? All for the end. Although technically the overworld is slightly different. It has different generation. Has different cave generation, I should say, compared to 1.17. And what we get in the full release of 1.18, since it was still early in development. So I can't remember if I wrote down that this version is +1 terrain generator. I wrote it down for the end, but I don't remember if I wrote it down for the overworld. Alright, well anyways, let's think. What do we need? What do we want to take with us? Probably nothing, because if I'm going to set up a whole outpost, I want to be self-sufficient, which means everything I have on me should be good. Except we're going to maximize bacon. In fact, here, how about I take an extra 10? So we're going to take just a little extra bacon with us. And then I think we're going to figure out that we need to... I need to know where I need to go. I guess step one is go on all the way to the farthest portal. In fact, what I could probably do, if I wanted, I could build an entire other portal in the Nether, then just pop out in the overworld. Oh my gosh, all of the effort I go through just to get these eggs out of my inventory, and then I pick up more. I could always throw them on the ground, but that's a waste of eggs, because what if I need these for pumpkin pie in the future? Oh, well, anyways, not important. We're gonna head up here real fast, and then probably not return home until later in 1.17. There's nothing else I'm actively working on other than Zelenako, which I need to finish the shelves and put down more chests. Nerve HQ is officially on hold. The rad facility is close enough to being done. I don't have any build half finished on there. Alright, so what we're gonna do though before we really start zooming, and I slowly spin around, I need to whip out MCA selector and figure out where the new chunks are going to be. Doo-doo-ba-doop. So I need to go to like 65,000. Oh no, I need to go even farther than that. Block 0, I need to hit, I should say X0. I need to pass 66,600. 66600. Great. Alright. Well, now I know where I need to go. That was easy, so now we just kind of boat there. I don't know, because Ian hasn't been collecting XP at all. So what I was saying before, lag spikes, what I was saying before is I don't know why some people don't get XP and why some people do. Because it's the same people who don't get the XP I've seen. I still don't know how the system works, which is one of the reasons why I kept it on. Alright, well, this is going to take a while since we have to go all the way to 8,000 on the x-axis, which also means I'm going to have to expand the highway at some point, but I'll get there later. You had it disabled. There's I wonder if it shows more than 5 people. Maybe Ian doesn't have it enabled and that's why he's not getting the XP. I think channel settings is what was said earlier. I've been ignoring the inspirations tab and whatever sort of insights that YouTube Studio gives me. Because I think to myself, I'm not trying to optimize my channel, I'm just making the content I want to make. Alright, 5,500. 2,500 blocks to go. Nope, we're good. Aha! Was his male answer talking about in the colony, or are you just outside walking around? Don't worry, Koski. Plenty of people just talk about unrelated stuff. I don't know where it comes from. You're not the first. Oops, we clipped that one. Should be close to the end, though. Got another 600 blocks. I haven't even looked at whatever the inspiration tab shows. I don't know what's supposed to be in there, because I remember when it was introduced, and I'm pretty sure I read the short thingy that talked about what it was supposed to do. Maybe it was showing other channels that are supposed to have similar content. I think there's a feature like that, but I don't remember where that was. We're also going to sit around here. We're going to sit and we wait because we have to wait for all this terrain to convert over. So this might take a little bit. Hey, look, you could see the progress bar for my hand being completely empty. The attack cooldown. Very rarely do you get to see the texture when it's blank. Oop. Because when it's blank, it's just not there. It's only there for one frame, I think. Or one game tick. By the way, I know it's nighttime. I think I have a bed up here, though. We'll sleep at this outpost. Nice to be back here. Catch some zoos, reset the weather timer. And good job me of the pass for drinking that milk because I did not want to walk into the village and start another raid. Didn't I? Okay, I do have two, I almost said two birds. They're two parrots. That's what type of bird they are. Where are YouTube summaries? YouTube AI summaries? I'm very familiar with Google AI summaries. I don't know where I've seen those. Yeah, I also don't know what bricks you're referring to. Are you really just calling it bricks? I don't think you can copyright or trademark the name bricks. Unless that's just the code name you're calling it. There's a lot of projects that have code names until one is officially decided or formally announced. HLX. We don't know what HLX is going to be called, we just know it's been called HLX in the code for a long time. I'm still waiting around for the day that Valve announces the next Half-Life game. I'm also waiting for Tyler McVigor's next HLX Files video. So now I think I understand what the AI summaries do, but where do you find these summaries? Nom 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 nom. Alright, how far are we? We've only traveled 300 something blocks. And due to the distance, is one of the reasons why once we make it to new terrain, I'm not going to be in the mood to do much else. Once we make it to new terrain, we're going to start on that outpost and then go from there. It's also why I want to stick around at the outpost for a few streams. The only thing is, I'm going to have to differentiate between Oh my gosh, lag spikes, such is how it goes when you're converting chunks. I'll have to differentiate between... Oh, what was it called? What snapshot are we in? 21W13A. That's the snapshot. Differentiate between 21W13A and between 1.17. Because on the surface, within my tests, there's no way to tell on the surface where the new chunks are going to be. I would have to see below. But the problem is, I don't have that opportunity. You experience lag spikes in the real world? Is your brain functioning correctly? Oh, the stream itself. There we go, that makes more sense. It has a lot of data to process. I'm pretty sure chunk conversions are CPU related because it doesn't have anything to do with rendering. It has to do with the chunks getting built. If the universe is displaced by that amount, wouldn't you think that maybe you just casually entered a parallel universe that was off by that amount? You'll never know if everything teleports instantaneous between them. We have a problem. Did the internal server completely stop? No, well, what am I looking at? Why is there nothing in front of me? I'm not crazy, right? There's just no chunks there. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. There's no way it's the Sky Islands. I think the chunks are just being super slow to render. Because you could see the trees ever so slowly pop into existence. What are we doing on memory? It still only says 85% allocated. It hasn't hit the limit yet. I am thinking of restarting at this point. With all the end I generated before, yeah, we're gonna reload the world. In fact, we're gonna restart the game in its entirety. We have a lot of brand new chunks it has to save. This used to be an issue with slower computers, and then they improved it overall. I'm pretty sure part of the problem is all the chunks it has to convert over. At first I thought the internal server gave up and wasn't generating the chunks at all, but the server itself said it was still going, so this was unrelated to that. That's a good, let's see, exactly how much RAM is it using right now? Task Manager says 9.6 gigabytes. I guess 9.5 if you have to round down. Total in use that the computer has is 25. Well, at least looking at the clock is more interesting than staring at this dirt and saving world. Currently no disk usage though, so I'm not sure what it's doing. Wonder if it still has to process the data before it writes to a disk. Because the current write speed is very low. I don't think it has another issue. I think the world is just being super slow because it has to prepare the chunks. 9 gigabytes worth of chunk data. Prepare it to save to disk. So that's what we're currently sitting and waiting for it to do. This happens quite often when, I should say, the save time is very slow when you have a lot of memory used by Minecraft. This happens all the time. If the game itself freezes and stops responding, then it's an issue. But as of right now, I have no concern. It's one of the reasons why I didn't really want to restart the game, but the chunks were not moving. We're gonna hope it doesn't take 20 minutes, because then I'll never get to where I'm supposed to be, because I think I'm still over 1,000 blocks away. This is the time where, if it was still available, I'd be playing some Holio. But I'm mad. They took Holio off a desktop. I don't want to download the app. The whole reason why I was playing on the computer was to play it on the computer. The game autosaves the level.dat and some of the actively loaded chunks, not the chunks referenced in memory. When you save and quit, it saves all the chunks referenced in memory on the level.dat. It does a full save. Autosave is a much more lightweight save. I don't plan on playing YouTube games. YouTube is a video watching and streaming service. I don't plan on playing games on there. Should say I don't plan on playing tube games. I'm playing Minecraft, but that's not the same. What else did I make note of for me earlier? Oh, that's right. I was supposed to write in the book. Here, I could put both of these onto the same notepad. From what I've witnessed of Windows 11, there's currently not much that would convince me to switch over. But having multiple tabs in Notepad, that would be a great feature. Flappy Bird exists on YouTube. There will always be Flappy Bird clones. How long have we been sitting here staring at the saving world screen? I haven't been keeping track. But I still have Task Manager open, keeping watch for any sort of disk usage spikes. You saying I didn't make a YouTube game? I would never make a YouTube game. If I'm gonna make a game, I'm gonna publish it separately. If you're talking about games overall, I've published 2 games so far. I've worked on several others, but 2 have been completed and put out to the public, with a 3rd one essentially done. Oh, you mean Twitter. So many people call X, or I should say so many people call Zelinator X, because that's easy. So at first I thought you were talking about me. You say Twitter, I know what you're talking about. You say X, half the time I think it's me. While I sit around and wait for this, I'm going to work on a Rubik's Cube. If you hear squeaks, it's because it squeaks. It does not turn very smoothly. I'll try to keep it farther away so that way lowers the chances of you guys hearing it. X is reserved for X's adventures in Minecraft. Why did he get the name X? Did he not want D? Or DA? I don't know the history of his username. If you say David Angel, I know who you're talking about. I watched his original run of the series that I want to say only made it to something like beta 1.4. I think after that, episodes were very sparse up through maybe something like 1.6 or 1.7. I can't remember the whole history of the world, but I know there were renewed episodes that I never got around to watching. One day, perhaps, I'll catch up. I can't even remember if he made brand new worlds afterward. There are a lot of mini spikes on the disk transfer that very well could just be Windows being Windows, though. Because I'm waiting around for something to happen. I'm sure the game is fine. It's just a massive amount of chunks it has to save. Because it has to save all the overworld chunks, all the nether chunks, and all the end chunks. Truth be told, I probably should have saved and quit after I was done in the end. Oops. I wonder just how many chunks I loaded in the end, though. It was a lot. All those chunks in the end are the reason why this is taking so long. Because I'm going to trust the process. A 1.8 beta episode. Tell me, please, do you really say beta after the version number? You telling me you're like Nolitrum? Are you really one of those people? Instead of saying beta 1.8, you say 1.8 beta. I don't know if I'll ever get around to Etho's content. I've probably seen one or two of his videos in my lifetime. I don't expect to get to it though. I have other stuff to get through first. Depends on your mood, so you are one of those people. Truth be told, I want to say Nolatrum's the only other person I can recall to mind. Truth be told, this probably wouldn't be so big of a problem because Mojang doesn't expect people to have massive amounts of RAM for Minecraft. And so whatever sort of save time it takes for all the memory in use is usually a lot lower than this. But that's okay. I think it's coming back in time. We're gonna keep going another 15 minutes. But yeah, the point being, if people often play Minecraft with less memory than this, what happens is it fills up faster, which means Minecraft has to uh, save all of that, save a much smaller amount in total. But when you give it a massive amount of RAM to use, it has to save a massive amount of RAM, which can be slow. I don't think I have a way to check how much I currently dedicate here, because I can't check the multi-MC instance settings while the instance is running. But I have 128. The maximum I would dedicate to Minecraft is 100, but that's for extreme tests. Most of the time I only dedicate 16. If it's a server, I'm more likely to give it 32. That's the top fans list showing up. I wonder if there's going to be any more than 5, because I want to say I've only seen it have 5 listed. 4 for vanilla? 4 gigabytes for Minecraft vanilla? Is that for 1.0? Was it you that had a dedicated 1.0 world currently going on? Someone else, some other stream viewer is talking about 1.0. Because 4 gigabytes for 1.0 is fine. I can't see people playing 1.18 plus with 4. That doesn't sound fun. I've not been in 1.0 recently. You've been playing. What have you been playing? Because I know you talk about Bedrock because you like controllers. I wonder what's the current CPU utilization. What was that, 14, 15, jumped to 29 though, so I guess it still has some stuff it's doing. Battlefield 2042. I see. I see now. Alright, how's all this looking? Everything is just doing as it normally does. Oh wait, what's today? Today's Wednesday the 9th. I need to get my Steam stuff sorted out. The Steam sale ends in about 22 hours. I wonder if I were to whip out MCA Selector, if it would show all of the terrain loaded in the end. And what's that? Dim 1, because -1's the nether. Well, one thing's for sure, it definitely looks like a giant keyhole now, the way I loaded up the terrain in the end. Looking at it, I appear to have only generated about 3/4 of the radius. Or perimeter, I guess. It's not really a circle. I guess radius is half the diameter anyway. Well, regardless, I made good progress. So yeah, the chunks themselves are mostly fine, other than there are weird strips that are missing, and I don't know if that's because they didn't generate or because they are not actively readable. All this should be solidified next time I optimize the world, though. Yeah, we're gonna wait around just a few more minutes, and then I will indeed call it. Watch 10 seconds after I end the stream. The world successfully saved, and I'm back at the main menu. Because at this point now, it very well could take a while. Man, backing up the world after this is not going to be fun. It's already... Let me check. Because there's nothing else going on at this moment. Let me find the most recent backup. That would have been 1.16.5. So the world backup is about 12, or I should say the world as a whole is about 12 gigabytes, compressed down to 8 gigabytes. We'll see what it's like after this recent backup. Or after this next one, once the world wraps up everything it's currently doing. Now's my time to start preparing a 1.17 folder. .16 had a lot of versions with 25 total backups made for it, and I want to say I missed one or two of those. As we let all of this just wrap up. Well, that was or I should say that will be a very abrupt end here. Everything was going fine until it wasn't. Alright, well, thanks for dropping on by, and see you next time. For everyone else, we'll be sticking around just a wee bit longer. And then calling it there. Minimize, minimize. Yeah, another 20 seconds, and then that'll be that. Oops, set that preview back to live. Alright, well, since nothing's happening, y'all have any final thoughts, start saying it now. As hopefully this just wraps up in however long it takes. And I'm gonna have extra work to do because I need to make sure the world is all ready for 1.17 with the extended height limit. So I have some work to do because I'll have to make sure the world converts. I should say make sure the world upgrades properly, and then I'll deal with the 1.18 upgrade at a later point because we're gonna be ending off here in 1.17, thankfully. So that's indeed all it for today. Thank you all for watching. Bye.